Hey everyone, my name is Josh. This is like the third time I'm recording this video. But in this video I'm going to talk about how to find your first internship and make money off of it in the long run. So, let's begin. Real quick backstory. I started my business in high school. I was 16 years old when I first got into the entrepreneur world. And more recently I was able to now after high school, hire a couple of staff members, move out, kind of be on my own, and fortunately my business is doing okay even during this whole COVID-19 outbreak. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to not be where I am, because I think that's kind of arrogant, but be where you want to be and be where you feel comfortable that you're able to kickstart your business idea or your side hustle. So first, you're going to want to develop a passion or skill or an interest or something that you enjoy. This is obvious, but a lot of people, they live their lives off of what their parents tell them they need to do, or their teachers or friends or whoever. People, they're like, oh, I think I need to be a lawyer to be successful, or I need to be a doctor or whatever. Now, if you like those industries and you want to work in those industries, do it. That's where your heart is set. Do it. If you don't like it or you don't enjoy it, don't do it. It's stupid. It's going to hurt yourself. It's going to hurt everyone around you, and it's going to hurt the people that hire you. So if you don't like working you don't want to work in a law firm, you don't like law, don't pursue being a lawyer. Just because mom and dad tell you to, don't do it. And I know it's easier said than done, but you're going to piss off the law firm that hires you because you're going to be lazy. You're not going to want to be there, and everyone can tell if you want to be there or not be there. It's really hard to hide that. It's really hard to BS excitement and passion. So don't do that. And next, you're going to want to look on Craigslist, Indeed, or Glassdoor for these positions. I recommend Craigslist because they're usually more, not down to earth, but they're usually easier to get in touch with. And you're able to get a lot more, you're able to reach out to a lot more people. On Indeed, you can really only apply through their platform, but on Craigslist, a lot of people will put in their own email, or at least some kind of Craigslist email address, the reply email. And here, like Indeed, social media intern, publicity design, I just did marketing because that was what I started out with, right? So, win reality baseball marketing team, work from home. To apply, please email resume. Now, here's the thing about employing people. For those of you that are especially like high school or college and maybe not super familiar with what it's like to employ people, let me see if I can pull this up. Maybe I won't be able to because I kind of forgot my password for this. But you're going to get hundreds, if you're an employer, hundreds and hundreds of applications. You got to stand out against those people, and you got to show them why you're worth their time. So I don't think I'll be able to load in, but I basically have got, when I put an application out for a virtual assistant a couple of times, in 48 hours I'd get at least 100 responses with like so many cover letters and so many applications that are like just useless, that are absolutely a waste of time to read, and I didn't care to read most of them. I cared to read about people that were willing to work 30 hours a week or more, and people that put in a little bit of I don't want to make this an employee video, so I'll kind of skip that, but the point being, you don't want to be like everyone else. You want to stand out. So you look on Craigslist, look on Indeed, look on Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a little bit harder just because usually they're looking for actual companies, or not companies, but like they're looking for people that are more qualified. So I recommend just sticking with Indeed and Craigslist, unless you're looking for an actual job, then you can go on Glassdoor. Anyway, when you're on Craigslist, you're going to look for, excuse me, just got up. You're going to look on jobs. You're going to look for anything of interest, right? You're going to select internship. And I just did marketing. And I came across this post over here. So over here we see Posh Glam seeks marketing and social, and PR intern candidate must be enrolled in college and be able to follow directions. Okay, first of all, you don't need to be in college. Don't be turned down, and don't let that be something that stops you. If you're actually interested in working in marketing and this is an opportunity you want to take it. Just because they say you need all this stuff doesn't mean that you actually do. They usually do that to deter people that are not determined and are not passionate about working for their company. Like in my case, I might put sales experience required. But if someone has no sales experience but can prove to me that they're worth my time, I'm going to give them the position, right? So look for a small company. This is why I like Craigslist more, because usually they're smaller companies. And the reason why I say work with smaller companies is because they're going to give you more attention. Usually the manager, employer, whoever is going to help you, or whoever is going to oversee you, they're going to give you more personal attention. I was fortunate enough to work for this company called Expressway Music and help them rank higher on Google. And I got pretty close with the manager, or the owner, and his project manager. We all worked in the same room, and it was like the size of my bedroom over here. And it was an awesome vibe. So I really recommend that, because you're going to get a lot more personal attention. Especially if you're working or planning on being an entrepreneur and selling like a side hustle or a service or something like that. Work with the person who's in charge, or someone who's a higher up, because you're going to get a lot of experience, and don't be afraid to ask them. If they're willing to give up their time to train you and teach you the ropes, they're more than happy, I'm sure, to answer a few questions about the business and stuff like that. And you're going to get a lot of awesome advice from those types of people. If you're fortunate enough to intern at like a Fortune 500 company and you're working next to like the CEO or vice president or something, then yeah, you're super fortunate and lucky. And I shouldn't say lucky because you may have worked for it, but you know what I mean. Take that opportunity if you can. But if you aren't going to be able to do that and you're working from the ground up like I was, look for a small company. And I would use the internship as a case study. So I was able to rank for Wedding DJ NYC, help my client rank on the first page. They were originally at the bottom of the second page. I got them up to the first page, and they were now at the first page, which is where they wanted to be, and they were much happier. At the end, you're going to want to ask for referrals or recommendations. Use this as a referral source, or as a place where you can at least get a recommendation letter. So as you can see, if you look on my website, so I actually don't have their exact recommendation letter here, but for example, let's say I was interning at North American Elevator, right? Josh at CT has been a pleasure to work with. JC Search has increased our right? Basically, you're gonna want to get a referral. I have a referral letter from this company, but I don't know why I don't have it on my site. But the idea is that if you can get a referral, or if you can get someone that's going to vouch for you, you put it on your site. Let's say you're trying to sell graphic design services, or you're trying to get employed at another company. Keep that referral, keep that listing, or that letter that they're going to give you. And don't be afraid to ask. Sometimes they won't give it to you right off the bat. Just ask them for a recommendation letter. And I'm sure, especially if you are passionate about something, you're going to go above and beyond, and they're going to be more than happy to refer you. So working for free isn't so bad. Don't worry about working for free. It's not the end of the world. You learn a lot more from the experience than you would be benefiting from the money, especially if you're young and you don't need the money, right? You're going to learn a lot more, and it's going to be a lot more beneficial. So let's take a look at what I would do if I were applying for this place. So I'm not that interested in fashion, but I'm interested in marketing, so I'll give it a shot, right? Letter of interest, mobile number, social handles, 2 references. So we're going to open up a Word document, and this is how I would do it. So first of all, look for the company name. So a person in charge. So look for the person in charge and look for the company name. Don't just reply to this and say like, hey, my name is Josh, right? Say, okay, so about Poshlam, read the about. Always read whatever they can give you. You're going to find a lot of good stuff here. So on May 16, 2005, Poshlam is the brainchild of Kimberly E. Stone, a model entrepreneur and a budding fashion icon. Her smart sense of fashion and business savvy have been featured in Forbes, the Washington Post, right? So whoever wants to be treated like they're important. Obviously, every business owner thinks they're the best, so she wants to be, greater than life, right? And that's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people like that. Everyone has an ego and they want it to be stroked. So the gloss.com, right? Blah blah blah. Social media strategy, and was named one of Black entrepreneurs' top 10 young women of power. Posh Glam supporters, established and emergent luxury designers, and sets the standard for truly style maven. Sona surrounded herself with other like-minded, fashion-forward individuals, and attributes her success to many helping him. Okay, so to not waste any time, what I would do is, after doing some research, I'd say, hey, Kimberly. And the reason why I'm saying hey, Kimberly is because if we look at the reply email, it says Kimberly at Posh Glam, so that we know this is going directly into Kimberly's box. It also might go into the assistant or someone else's box, but it seems like she will get that email. Next, you're going to look up Posh Glam. You're going to look up the company. So Posh Glam. I see Black entrepreneur enterprise. Read the article if you can. I think I found something that was pretty useful too earlier. Yeah. So this person started in college. So if you're a college student or if you're a student in general, I'm sure that they're going to be more than happy to help you out, because they understand that, young people are the future of the world. So LinkedIn, let's look at your LinkedIn, right? People, you're going to look at the company size. I see 3 people. That's awesome. We want to go after people that are companies that are small. And so, ironically, I actually have a mutual connection. But you're going to look at Kimberly Eastone, okay? Contact info. I know for some reason this site doesn't work. Don't know why. And Posh Glam just goes to their Twitter. I don't know why that's the case, but whatever. Then you're going to look at the, if there's an email or anything like that, use that direct email. Maybe it's a little bit different than the one listed here. But anyway, take that email, address it as hey, Kimberly, my name is Josh. Let's say if I was a college student, I am a college student interested in working for Posh Glam as a marketing and PR intern. And then I would talk a little bit about my experience. So I have worked on several social media accounts and helped them grow to 1,000 followers in a month, right? Let's just say you did that, right? And if you didn't, that's perfectly fine. Instead, I would replace this with something like, I'm eager to learn the ropes of blah, 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 blah. I see you guys have been featured in a lot of magazines and news articles, so it would be an honor to work for a company of such high value, or something like that, right? And kind of strokes their ego a little bit. Again, be careful when doing this. Don't go too crazy because people will get annoyed. Upload your CV letter, right? Social handles. My Instagram is, right, all of your social signal or social handles and all that. I would be more than, this is where it's going to get a little interesting. I would be more than happy to send over a few writing samples for what you need right now. What are 2 articles or pieces of content you'd like written? If you like it, you can upload it directly. Right, so here's where you're going to get a little interesting. They're going to want written samples. All you're going to do is you're going to ask them, hey, what can I write about? And maybe you have 1 writing sample and just send that over. But this way, everyone, I don't care who you are, engages with a question in their mind or in writing or whatever. So if she sees that you're asking a question, you're going to get a response of some sort, whether it's via email or in her own thoughts. Now, obviously, you want her to write it out. So you're going to bold this text, right? Say, okay, what are 2 pieces? So this way, there's no denying that you asked her a question. Leave your signature, say best regards, kind regard, whatever you want to say. And then what you're going to do after that is you're going to follow up with her 2 days later and say, hey, I don't know if you had a chance to see my previous email, but I really am interested in working. The moment you start sending follow-ups, they're going to be interested in you because it shows that you're interested in them, and so they're going to reciprocate with being interested in you. So from there, you're going to use it as a case study, and I'm sure if you do a good job for Kimberly, she knows people in the industry. She's going to refer you to her friends, her colleagues, and stuff like that, and you're going to grow your business. It's going to give you a lot of training for what it takes to be in the business world and as an entrepreneur, because you're going to have to do shit that you don't want to do, like working for free, answering stupid emails. That's just what it takes, you know? So I hope this video gave you some value. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or let me know personally if you want to DM me on Instagram or something. Let me know. And with that being said, take care and stay healthy out there.